The band King's Kaleidoscope makes some of the most beautiful and sophisticated music today, and I want to show you how with their song Oxygen off of their album Zeal. In order to understand the song, you need to understand why this album was written. Chad Gardner, the frontman of the Kings, was a worship leader at Mars Hill Church, and then, of course, Mars Hill imploded. Many of Chad's friends left the church, some the faith, and some became jaded, and this album was an account of Chad's striving to regain the zeal of his faith. The song begins with a melodic phrase that was recorded in reverse with these opening lines.
I can feel the memories again in this field of foreign oxygen.
This verse is repeated twice. Chad opens the song by recalling memories, and this is mirrored both in the music and lyrics. In the music, that reversed melodic phrase is an image of memories. That's because memories are about something that happened in the past that you're returning to. And when you reverse music, you are returning to its inception because it can only be reversed once it's been played. Lyrically, this opening verse is repeated twice, like recalling a memory. A memory is what happens a second time the event occurs. And the thing that Chad remembers is the original zeal of his faith. He's returning to the thing that was lost. And part of that zeal that was lost was suffering. That is, he assumed that everything that happened with the destruction of his church and the waywardness of his friends, not to mention all his personal struggles he's had with mental illness, he assumed that that was all a parenthesis to his faith. But what he had forgotten was that God gives joy and suffering. This suffering, the implosion of Mars Hill, is part of what God is doing. Also, notice that this remembrance is described as oxygen, and there's a similarity between oxygen, or breathing, to memory. Both are repetitive. So the doubling of the music and the lyrics is both a remembrance and oxygen, a breathing in and out that is giving zeal. Chad then repeats the phrase, "I'd lose it all to find you now."
To find you now, to find you now, I'd lose it all to find you now, find you now, find you now.
This short song ends with the children's song Jesus Loves Me, but with some fascinating musical decisions. But before we get there, why the song Jesus Loves Me? Well, if the song is about recovering the zeal of old, Jesus Loves Me is a paradigmatic symbol for the old faith. It is not just an old faith, but an old faith recovered, and that's reflected in the music. When the song Jesus Loves Me begins, it is mixed to make it sound like an old children's choir through a crackling radio. But then strong drum and flute sections take off, as if it's giving life and bones to this old tune. And then the strings fill out the aural space to create a full orchestra with beautiful cascading variations on the theme of Jesus Loves Me. Then a weak voice whistles the tune with the orchestra as the rest of the choir comes in. Finally, the choir and orchestra decrescendo out, and a simple piano closes the song with a final version of Jesus Loves Me. This last section of the song musically portrays Chad's journey. His childhood faith is given full expression in life again, but it is still fundamentally that normal, single piano faith of a child. But wait, there's one more thing. One of the fascinating decisions that Chad made in the song was to combine every style of musical expression, even seemingly opposites, into one cohesive, beautiful whole. That is, he combined high and low styles, that is, the orchestra and guitar electronic, old and new styles, Jesus Loves Me and the crackling radio, forwards and backwards. At the beginning of the song, the loop is backwards, and yet it is part of the song that is moving forwards. Fast and slow, loud and soft, many people, the choir, and one person, simple and complex, young and old, everything. You see, this communicates the heart of this song. Remember that first line, Chad forgot the joy of suffering. He forgot that God is working everything together, even these things that seem so sideways. And Chad demonstrates this by the combination of extremes and opposites into a unity. And there's one thing left. Chad ends the song in a slightly jarring way. Normally, Jesus Loves Me ends on the tonic, the root note of the key. Chad plays the song in B flat, so the tonic would be B flat. And he deliberately chooses not to completely resolve the melody to the tonic, but to conclude on the third. Now, what's alluring about this decision is that it does two things musically. First, it introduces tension because it does not resolve it to the place where the song normally resolves, or where most songs normally resolve. Nor does he resolve it in the second most common place to resolve a song, the fifth. So the tension is increased. But second, he doesn't make it completely dissonant. The third in the key is the middle note in the tonic chord. So here, B flat major. So B flat, D, and G. So in that sense, it is resolved and at home. That is, it's not a non-diatonic note, a note that's not from the key, or a different decision in the key like the seventh, which would bring even more tension. So in the final two notes, Chad musically communicates the entire message of the song, joy in suffering, tension and resolution at the same time. And that, my friends, is why King's Kaleidoscope is art. Thank you so much for checking out the video. I really do appreciate it. I hope you check out King's Kaleidoscope. They are lovely and a wonderful band. Let me know what you think. If you'd like to support the channel, you can go to patreon.com/BiblesArt. If you'd like to be notified whenever one of these comes out, that'd be wonderful. You can go to thebiblesart.com/newsletter, and I will see you